If you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably know that I just got back from spending a few weeks in Costa Rica. And on my last day there, I had this thought about alcohol-free living that I just really wanted to share with you in case it helps you stay on track with your alcohol-free goals over the next couple of weeks. I know we're heading into this period of the year where everything seems to be about booze and how you need alcohol to have a great festive season and all the rest of it. But here's the thing that I think so many people get wrong about not drinking. They think sobriety is about making your life smaller and sadder because you're taking something away, right? Well, that's definitely what I used to think anyway. Not drinking felt very restrictive and constraining. Like literally, it felt like there was this tightness around it. I was sure it was going to be about living a life of less because something had been removed, like something had been taken away. But whilst I was away in Costa Rica, I had lots of experiences that just reminded me that that is all total nonsense. Sobriety is really quite the opposite. It's actually about expanding your life and being able to do more, have more fun, squeeze more out of your time, more joy, more experiences, just more everything. So I was thinking about this because on my actual last night in Costa Rica, I went out for a meal with some friends who I'd met at an event there. And we just had this really, really good evening out. You know, one of those nights where time just flies, you're having great food, great alcohol-free drinks, great chat, and suddenly it's like 11 p.m. and we're the only table left and the restaurant's like politely trying to close and kick us out. And let me tell you, there is something so satisfying about having a brilliant evening out like that and knowing it was all genuine, all real, that you truly had a good time, that nothing was warped or twisted by alcohol. You get to have the good times and then you get ready for bed with a clear head, knowing you're going to wake up feeling fine. It's just such a good feeling. Anyway, the next morning I needed to pack and get ready to travel home, but I realised that actually I'd woken up early enough to go and have one last walk on the beach. And I really wanted to do that before spending a long time travelling and sitting down. So to cut a long story short, by 8 o'clock in the morning, I have managed to do most of my steps for the day, get some exercise in and have one last look around the area. And that's when I suddenly thought, oh my God, yes, this is what living a bigger alcohol-free life is all about. Because actually the whole entire trip had been like that. I'd been making the most of sunsets and having fun things to do in the evening, and then still getting up early enough to do stuff like this. So this was a zipline tour of the rainforest, which was quite scary, but also so incredibly cool. Can you imagine being hungover during this? This was so out of my comfort zone, I probably wouldn't have even considered doing it back in my drinking days. And listen, this video isn't me talking about what I did on holiday. This concept applies to everything. If you've got a lot on this December, imagine how much more space you'd have in your life if you knew you could go out on Friday and Saturday night and have a great time and still be fresh for the next day. Still be able to get on with all the other things that you need to do. That would be amazing, right? And that is totally possible for you. You can have this best of both worlds, I call it. When it comes to sobriety, making your life bigger and better, it's not just about these late nights and early mornings. Like, I have one client who's been working with me for a while, and she actually used to really struggle with agoraphobia. So she had difficulty leaving her house. That was scary for her. But since she quit drinking, that's changed dramatically. So Talk about making your life bigger. Oh my God, her world has totally changed now. And I didn't help her conquer that fear. It was just something that she felt able to work on once alcohol was out of the picture. But I will point out this, alcohol massively increases anxiety. So it does make sense that a phobia like that felt worse while she was drinking. When you take alcohol out of the picture, you get this clarity about what you want in your life. I work with a lot of other clients who've changed jobs in sobriety, started new hobbies, or gone back to things that they used to love but had somehow drifted away from because life had slowly begun to revolve around alcohol. It's always amazing how tiny and constricted your world becomes when you are focused on just getting to that point in the day when you can drink. When that is the most important thing to you, you end up pushing away a lot of other stuff. In fact, you delete most of the evening really, and that every evening, that's a huge chunk of the day of your life. So that's what I wanted to talk about today in this video. The idea of alcohol-free living expanding your life. It doesn't constrain or restrict it. That's what alcohol does. Don't let anyone tell you different this festive season because they're just wrong. And if you're watching this thinking, but Kate, I just don't believe I would have as good a time without alcohol, then fine, that's where your work is. That is what you probably need some support with. Because I can promise you that you are wrong, no matter how true it feels. And it would be such a shame to carry on drinking because you have this thought error, this misguided belief about what alcohol does for you and what you can and can't do sober. All right, so I'm Kate B. Please scroll down and let me know what you think about this. And I hope you have a very happy and hangover-free week ahead, no matter what you're doing.